for this?
Of Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com, the beautiful studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the corner of Tenaya and Smoke Ranch. My name is Bill Miller. I'm co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And with us on the phone, the man from Cleveland himself, the prognosticator, Jorge Mish. Jorge,
hello there. I am there.
All right, man. And folks, if you're just joining us this week and you didn't have an opportunity to join us last week, we'd like to once again thank Brett Price from Finley Prep. He's also a prognosticator of sorts when he's not, coaching some of the best high school talent in the country. And, and again, Brett, always a friend of the show. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule last week. We were discussing, NCAA football, going through some conferences, but unfortunately we didn't have a chance to get to the one that is, of course, makes Southern Nevada Sports News, kind of smile. We're talking about the Mountain West Conference, which includes, of course, UNLV.
Yes.
Some of the various teams at UNLV that we are actually friends of, the hockey team, and we're getting to know the golf team.
Yes.
Very shortly here. But my name is Bill Miller. I am co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
All right, we're going to touch bases on Mountain West Conference football, but very quickly, George, again, buddy, thanks a lot for joining us. We know that you have a very busy schedule, and
very happy to do it.
Well, I appreciate that, bud.
I tore myself away. I know it's a quick half hour, but I'm practicing for October 3rd when I arrive. I was just on the computer doing the 10-hand video poker machine, which is at the Main Street station, if it's still there from a few years back.
Main Street is still there. That's still Hawaiian Central as far as the downtown casinos. Yeah.
Just don't go to their buffet at 4 p.m. That's all.
For some reason, it has become literally the Hawaiian Central Hotel.
Yep.
As far as Las Vegas is concerned, if you go there, as a matter of fact, they actually show the departing and arrival flights of Hawaiian Airlines and the various airlines.
Oh, wow.
When you're in Hawaii, they consider Las Vegas to be the ninth island. Yeah, so there's a lot of traffic here. So, George.
Speaking of Hawaii, let's go to the worst team in the league there, the Hawaii team.
Okay, since we're talking about Hawaii.
You can't blame them. You can't. I'm going to go this real fast. You can't blame them. They will, according to SB Nation that I am faithful reading, they will have logged 10,000 air miles before they play their first home game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They'll be in Australia and then at Michigan. What a great schedule, guy. And they're supposed to go to class, too, somewhere in between that.
Yeah, you cannot have a fear of flying and attend the University of Hawaii and play sports.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after they play UT Martin, which is their home game, then they have to trek off to Arizona, just the small flight to Arizona to go on their fourth game. So there's very little talk about it with them. They're just 2 wins, maybe 3 at the most, and they're happy with this Rolovich being their new coach because he was a pretty big star back then when he played. But the best thing is Chow is gone, so that'll help him.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chow's stock. I mean, at one time, this guy was a high flyer when he was with USC.
Yes.
And he has, unfortunately, I'm not just sure if it's just obviously the jobs he's taken or maybe just the talent that he has around him, but he has his stock has dropped considerably.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he's pretty much out of it now. I'm reading. I haven't seen that he latched down anywhere else, but that may have skipped me. But
well, the high days of Hawaii was when June Jones was there.
Yeah,
of course.
And in that they were really putting up some just unbelievable numbers, especially considering the quarterbacks that they were working with there. And clearly they've fallen on hard times. They didn't win a game last year at all in the Mountain West Conference, and I think they only won 3 games. They were 3-10, their record. So there is really no place to go but up as far as conference play is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're in the West, and you start with Hawaii. Which team would you like to tackle next?
Well, I don't have it by east or west. My next worst team, or the other, probably over on the other side, I would think is Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they are. I don't think you're going
I
to get
think
an
it's
argument.
a coin toss between them and Hawaii myself.
That's not a.
I even have them only just winning 2 games because, but I like the way the coach, the what is his name, Bull, I believe, who he could have retired very easily at North Dakota State and just had a happy life, but he decided to have a challenge in his later years, and but I give him credit. He don't go for JUCOs. He plays freshmen right from the beginning last year, about 30 of them, but they're just not up to caliber. Thank God for UC Davis and possibly Eastern Michigan, because that's all I can see them doing it with in that group.
Is that at Eastern Michigan?
Pardon me?
Is that at Eastern Michigan, or is that a?
That, I don't know. Probably at Eastern Michigan. Jeffrey, I don't know everything here.
Man, I thought you did. That game being at Eastern might make it a better game. Actually,
they're actually at home at Eastern.
Oh,
yeah, Eastern is at home, and it's a Friday night.
they should take
So
that.
yeah.
Which means they'll be competing against the local high school teams for attendance. So, yeah, not good planning for the University of Wyoming on that one.
Right.
All right, George.
Yes,
So
sir.
since we're looking,
Speak up, sir.
since we're starting with some of the bottom feeders, lack of a better phrase, Fresno State.
Fresno State, another bottom feeder. They're since Carr has left at quarterback. It's just gone downhill and downhill more. The interesting thing is they don't like firing coaches. I can't pronounce this. I forget the guy. What Roost something or whatever the coach. He basically he's only the 3rd coach they've had in 36 years, so they give them a long rope.
Yeah.
Even if they're bad. So the quarterback's averaged only 178 yards passing, or average, they didn't average, 178 yards passing last year, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. The defense gave up 450. And
Yeah.
so about another one, Sacramento State, and they luckily have Hawaii at home, so that may put them up to the 3 mark in wins. But really, one of my favorite teams back in Hill's time, but they have dropped significantly, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I actually liked them a lot with both the Carr brothers actually playing there. But
Yeah.
I think the stat was somewhere 9-24 since Derek graduated.
So they can only hope that there's a younger Carr brother in the
I think
future.
there is actually a younger Carr brother.
Yeah, okay, so
He's
I think that's
in
the
high
only.
school right now.
Yeah, well, and I don't know. That's a tough act to follow. You're asking a young man to follow his 2 older brothers,
Yep.
who are both very successful at the collegiate level.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a tough draw, but yeah, I clearly I don't know if Fresno State is just afraid of who are they going to replace him with. I mean, it's a relatively small market. If you've been to Fresno, really the college is the only game in town.
Yeah.
I think there might be some minor league baseball, but other than that, and maybe some semi-pro football, who knows? But
Sure.
yeah, but in terms of Fresno State, I had no idea that the coach has been there that long. I mean, he's that's like Joe Paterno numbers. I mean, good Lord.
DeRuyter is his name, or DeRuyter or something. He's been there, this is his 5th year.
Well, since we're in that neck of the woods,
Okay.
sort of the wine area, well, not necessarily the wine country of California, San Jose State.
San Jose State, if they could have kept Irvin, the running back, I think they'd have a very up-and-coming team, but that really kicks their butt a bit, and because they have a decent quarterback, and a Potter is his name, 67%, 15-7 with touchdowns, interceptions, and the defense is pretty decent, but they've only given up like 360 yards in the last 2 years average, so they're going to be in a lot of games, but the running, I believe, is going to I put them down 2 notches because they really are. When you lose 13 touchdowns and 1,600 yards, it could really kick NICU. And their first game, which is kind of funny because last year Washington State thought they had it, but Portland State is their first game. And you know what happened last year when Portland State, I believe, played Washington State. I think they lost.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. That kind of set the tone for the team for the year.
And this is the part of the to me the part of the teams that we get into. We talked earlier before the show is that this is where it comes into. You could win 7, you could win 3, you could win 6. It's just a matter of who shows up that day and plays better.
Yeah, I think we're definitely getting into the part where most of these teams that we're going to be talking about now are going to be in bowl games, including UNLV, Utah State. I mean, they have great potential. I mean, I actually see even San Jose State winning 6 games.
I could see it too. I mean that, but I don't know about you, Jeff, but I don't. None of these teams really have a great home field advantage. So I mean, it's that I usually use for 3-4 points, but it's not really that big in the Mountain West, except for the upper echelon. And so who knows? It's going to be crazy.
Well,
take the points.
Yeah. Looking at the UNLV side, you know, I believe that they can beat any of the teams in their side of the division, with the exception of San Jose State. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're definitely going to be better.
State.
They can't beat San Diego State.
No, I just said with the exception of they could beat with the exception of San Jose State.
No, San Diego State.
Yeah, that's what I thought you.
No, San Jose. I mean, that's like kind of a toss-up with UNLV.
This is a team that, if I'm not mistaken, 3, maybe 4 years ago, they were close to dropping down to Division II football.
Right.
Because
Which one are we on? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
San Jose State.
Yeah, sure.
3 to 4 years ago, weren't they close to being dropped down to Division II because of attendance and, because of the, sort of the lack of a emphasis on the football program altogether?
Yeah.
So I mean, they certainly have at least, buoyed that program so that they're still competitive. And I guess the fans in San Jose have, once again kind of taken it. Yeah. But
and they've had a couple, just to add that on, they've had a couple of decent drafts. That's good.
Recruits
picking up the players from high school, so they have some young kids coming in, and maybe I have it written down for some 2017 is the year that they're really looking at. So, and there's a solid foundation, so that could happen.
Yep.
Or they could all transfer.
Right. Well, the Reno game's always a tough game with UNLV, and other than that, I mean, I think that UNLV they're definitely going to be better than their 2-6 record last year.
You're on to Nevada now? Yeah, they're the team that's what have they done? 3 years in a row, 7-6 or somewhere around there?
Yeah.
So that sounds good to me this year also.
Well, the thing is that, all these teams are going to get, the wins against all these teams in the Mountain West, which is going to help them. Utah State's going to be competitive. UNLV played a great game with them last year. A little shootout. Came down to the end, and they just got outscored. But, yeah, I just can't see. I mean, I think Air Force is going to be, going to be able to do some work.
I actually have them third.
Yeah.
Air Force.
Yeah.
And I started reading, and I said, it's just repetitive. It's just the same team. They just reload, do the same. They'll give up. They'll run for 300 pass. They actually went up to like 130-something yards passing last year, so I dropped them down to 120. But the defense is going to give 375, about 400 yards. But they're losing some. But I was shocked when I looked at the stats. That the last 2 years they have had over 30 sacks, which is for Air Force is huge because usually their line is pretty damn small, I think.
Yeah.
But they lost their best rusher, but they still should get about 30 sacks. And
well, like most of the military academies, it's tough recruiting. I mean, you're asking for the top 5% graduating class, and then hope that you can get a couple of stout fellows to be down there in the trenches. But at least in the conference they're in, they managed to make it work. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll once again be back on Mountain West Conference and kind of zero in on UNLV. You're listening to Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com. We'll be right back. We are back. Round 2, Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And on the phone we have
Jorge
Mish. There he is. All right, so listen, if you're just joining us now, we're touching basing on the Mountain West Conference, and the first 15 minutes we kind of dedicated to some of the, I'll just say underperforming teams.
Yep.
And now starting to get into the meat and potatoes of the Mountain West, and let's just go right into UNLV. George, where do you see? I mean, clearly there's a lot of expectations this year, the second year with Sanchez as coach. I think they did a fairly decent job of recruiting, and they certainly were in some games last year. Where do you see them this year fitting in?
4 or 5 wins. It all depends on one name, Johnny Stanton.
Johnny Stanton.
The quarterback. I love his pedigree out in Nebraska. He brought, I didn't know if he was here last year, but the offensive coordinator for Nebraska when he was there, excuse me, Cotton is now the coordinator for UNLV, so he knows his system. He's 245 pounds, and I think he's going to be a runner and a passer. And you can't beat the combination of Boyd and Keys in the wide receiver role there. So I think they're moving up on that side of the ball. Unfortunately, let's calm the expectations down, because you still have I thought this was a misprint when I read it. I read it 4 times. The defense pass rush last year had 9 sacks. 9. The defensive back should have sued the front, because the defensive backs played very well, I believe. But that's just ridiculous, 9 sacks. So you're going to probably have to outscore a lot of people, I believe, anyway.
Yeah, well, that could be difficult, but we'll see. I absolutely believe that they're going to do much better this year than last year, than certainly over the last few years. I think, though, that the goal for them to get back to a bowl game is going to be is going to be 7 wins overall. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that they do get there. I think they would bring a lot more excitement to the UNLV football program overall.
Are you shocked that they have only had 4 bowls since 1978?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm
not shocked at all.
8 wins only 3 times since that period, and the last time they did it was 2000.
Yeah, I'm. When you kind of go back over the years and kind of look at the stacks, you kind of get that. You hope it's a misprint, but it's spot on. That's why I think that there was so much excitement about them able to lure Sanchez away from Bishop Gorman, which, if you're in Las Vegas, is literally getting him away from another Division I football team.
right.
He's certainly able to to lure some, I think, some donors back to the football program. He certainly has a lot of close relationships with the Fertitta family, because he coached their boys over at Bishop Gorman.
Yep.
He's familiar with dealing with fundraising, because no matter how you slice it and dice it, Gorman has $1 million budget for their high school football team. So, let that sink in. That we're not talking about the school's athletic budget. We're just talking about the football program at Bishop Gorman.
Well, I think one of the reasons why UNLV has an issue is the stadium quality. When you're talking about an older stadium whose locker rooms aren't even as nice as high school locker rooms.
Well, whose stadium is practically in Arizona.
Right.
I mean, it's, we're not talking about off campus. We're talking about, out of the city. I truly believe that if they're able to attract an NFL franchise here, I don't know how it's going to, but it's going to start with them building a stadium of some sort.
Right.
And the closer to the campus, obviously, is going to be the better.
Yes.
And you'll start to get, and the kids are going to start to get a lot more into it. As it is now, it's a lot of times it's visiting fans that make up the bulk of the stadium. I mean, we've been to the stadium there. We've been there for bowl games. It's the visiting fans that tend to stack it.
Yep.
It's there's one, and if I'm not mistaken, is it free for UNLV students?
It is.
Yeah, that's that's.
Well, I mean, it's also 15 miles from campus, so
yeah, there you have it.
I mean, that's gonna. Anytime you have that issue, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get people there. But if the Raiders do come out, 3 of the sites are literally adjacent to the campus.
To the UNLV
so
campus,
so it'll be much better for them.
And there you have it.
And you do have a chance with the Bulls. I'm just looking at why you guys are talking. Jackson State, Idaho, Fresno State, Hawaii, Colorado State is rebuilding, waiting for their stadium next year. And Wyoming, that's 6 right there.
Yep.
And if you could spring, but the problem is you could also lose those games. Those are the ones you basically really have to have. And most of them are at home. Only Hawaii actually is on the road. So.
I'm hoping they can get that at least their 5th win going into that Wyoming game, because they will lose to Boise.
They're both at San Diego State and Boise. So I mean, it's. But you can get in now. 6 wins will get you a bowl. No.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is if we can get the 6th win before then and not have to rely on beating Reno, because that was similar to what happened last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the year before that. It was actually a year before that. They went in their last game was at San Diego State, and they ended up losing that game, which knocked them out of the bowl contention.
Yeah, that was Hawks last year.
Yep.
Yeah, Bobby Hawk. As far as the gold standard of Mountain West Conference, is that still San Diego State?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a toss-up this year. I mean, I can see San Diego State, going pretty much running it maybe with one or 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for Boise. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised those teams battling out for the championship.
My take on that, guys, is that it's just like it's kind of like politics. If you're conservative, San Diego State is your team. They're not gonna. They only threw 3 interceptions last year. They don't want to throw the ball only when they have to, and they got the running backs. Humphrey I thought he's been around since 10 years ago, but he's only been here. This is his 4th and final year, and they got a great combo. And their defense, Rocky Long, that's all you need to save. He'll only give up about 320 yards this year. But Boise State, if you want to get a little liberal and stuff, they could really they could go undefeated also.
Yep.
Except they lose 15.5 sacks and 37.5 tackles for losses just on their defensive line from last year.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So I think it's going to be great. I think they could go undefeated into the championship game, and that'd be real interesting. Or they could lose 3 apiece. I mean, it's not there. There's a lot of games they could lose.
Well, that Mountain Division last year, I think there were 4 games was the difference between first place and last place.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of parity, and so it seemed like on any Saturday, there was one team that was bound to knock off the other team. But Air Force actually won that the Mountain Division.
Yep.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, last year. So and of course that they're not going to be graduating any juniors or sophomores. These are going to they'll be 4-year players. I think that they count on and they have been successful with the maturity level of their players.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and so you certainly can't take that away. Any surprises, any shockers that you see that the team should look out for this year for the Mountain West?
Utah
No.
State, maybe.
Maybe New Mexico, but I mean, they do just the same thing as like they pass or run 50 times, they got 10 guys back on defense. So if they win the squeakers, they're definitely not their schedule doesn't look that bad. But sleepers, no, they're right in the middle. It's going to be another 7-5, 7-6, 6-7, something like that.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Well, all right. Well, George, before we head out, first of all, as always, thank you for joining
Yes.
us the week. But I wanted to get one in before we leave. Of course, the big announcement out of Cleveland: R.G. Griffin has been named the starting quarterback.
Yes.
Have you? Are you throwing a party already? I mean, are you?
No, I'm letting them let them do what they got to do. I told you I already got them at 31st out of 32nd, and that's pretty damn good for me. So that's no, and I'm fine. Although the coach Hugh Jackson today, if you look it up, he said that he told Gordon that he looks fat already, and he hasn't even played because he screwed up his quad before he even got the suspension going. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I like their kids, but no, I'm not with Griffin. Is going to be okay. It's not a big thing. It's well, you got to try something, and at worst they'll have the guy from Clemson next year. So, you know.
Well, congratulations on your Gladiator win last night. Come from behind.
I see that. I on an onside kick.
Very good. They actually kind of shocked me because they were actually 3 touchdowns down in that game, and that's a big deficit to come back from in arena football.
yeah,
but
especially
they
when
did
you know the other team's going to get their hands on the ball.
that. Yep.
Do you wish they were back with you now?
No.
No.
No, we would be the only people in the stands if that was the case.
All right. Well, I'll leave you with one. Do you think UNLV is at UCLA the second game of the year, Billy?
Yes.
Are you going to go there?
Well, Jeff brought that up this weekend, and we talked about it. And, I'm going to have to see what my schedule's like. I know I'm going to end up doing some traveling as far as my day job is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward.
September 10th.
But I am looking forward to going to some Ram games this year because once again, since the Rams are back home where they belong in LA, you know who I'm talking about. Don't give me that who stuff. And in fact, I will be there for August 20th because it's a preseason game against my second favorite NFL team, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll be there taking selfies and acting.
It's not fair, though. You got 8 teams in the NFL you like. That's really not fair.
Oh,
Okay.
come on, man. I'm not like that. I mean, I don't keep like a closet full of jerseys and break them out. you
Well,
know.
when you like the Chiefs and the Tampa Bay and the Rams, you gotta have like
Give me a
couple
break,
more.
man. Yeah, I mean, the teams that I was, kind of hung my hat on. These weren't exactly, until the
Right.
Chiefs kind of, turned things around the last couple of years. But,
Yep.
but George, listen, as always, man, we really appreciate
I
you coming
appreciate
out to
it
the show.
coming on. Well, if you need something, give me a holler.
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
All right.
Coach.
Take care, Jeffrey. Have a
you,
good
sir.
day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was our prognosticator from Cleveland. We also have to give him a ride about that. George Jorge Mish. And we come back, we're going to be joined by another friend of the show, Dr. Bob Donatelli, and he has brought in one of his patients/friends, and we're going to get to know Ricky Hickman Jr. Is in the studio. So we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Southern Nevada Sports News come to you from WorldwideDigitalBroadcastingCorp.com. We're back. It's time for round 3. Southern Nevada Sports News come to you from WorldwideDigitalBroadcastingCorp.com. And this time for round 3, we have our in-studio guest, another friend of Southern Nevada Sports News, Dr. Robert Donatelli. Dr. Bob, as he's known,
Bobby D.
or as Marquise Grissom calls you, Bobby D. And also one of Dr. Bob's clients, Richard Hickman Jr.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. Pretty good. Thank you very much. Well, listen, first of all, thanks for coming into the studio. Appreciate it. And thanks for an opportunity to also introduce us to one of your clients. And so first of all, congratulations. I understand that you have just signed with a team in Spain.
Actually, it's a team in Italy.
Italy, I'm sorry.
Milano, Olympia Milano. So I'll be playing there this year.
All right, yeah. As I forgot to mention that he is a basketball player, but if you saw him walk in, you'd understand that it was pretty obvious at that point. But congratulations, but I had a chance to check your bio. You've played in Europe quite a bit.
Yeah, this is
with some of the
season.
with some of the big teams, Maccabi in Tel Aviv, Fenerbahce in Turkey, if I believe.
Yeah, last 2 years.
Right, and so now you're in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're out of UNC Greensboro.
Yep, UNCG back in North Carolina.
Yeah. You want to send any shout outs out there?
Yeah. Shout out to my people in UNCG. One of the places that I keep close to my heart. I'm from Winston-Salem, which is literally like 20 minutes away. So, it was really cool to be that close to home.
Tobacco Road, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like college basketball central.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and all of those schools are roughly like an hour away from each other.
Yeah, when you grow up, everybody, wants to go to the Carolina, the Dukes, the NC State. So, I mean, it's like a battle to get, guys from each school, and sometimes the smaller schools go under the radar, but for me it was really good to go to such a university to grow and become the player I am today.
Well, Seth Curry, of course, he went to Davidson, another North Carolina school. I mean, you could go on and on. Wake Forest, it just goes.
Yeah.
It's like one after another. But so clearly the high school basketball program there just must be off the charts.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we had a very competitive high school. Chris Paul played at, West Forsyth, which was like 10 minutes down the road. I played at East Forsyth. It was just Rayshawn Terry who played at Carolina. We had a lot of, guys that played, high school basketball in that area, which was really competitive.
And no doubt. So how did you end up meeting Dr. Bob?
Well, I was actually in town, like I say about a month ago, and, I was coming back, from pretty much Turkey, where I had tore my Achilles like a year and a half ago. And, I came back and finished the last part of the season. I felt good and everything, but, for this season, I wanted to make sure that I came in, 100% feeling, physically confident in my body. So, I had a teammate named Ekpe Hudo who recommended Bob, who was who played with Pierre Jackson. So I came down here, got analyzed by Bob, and found out that some things I could definitely work on with my body to get better. So I decided take this time to come here for a couple weeks and let him help me out.
Well, one thing we have found out from, and we've had a chance to talk to a number of Dr. Bob's clients, and some who are retired and some who are still playing, is that it's not necessarily the area that you think that you need the most work on.
Yeah, for sure. Like you come in thinking you have one thing that's giving you a problem, then you realize, oh man, it's like 3 or 4 different things that are contributing to the problem. So when I came in, I'm not gonna lie, when I left, I was like kind of like, golly, man, like, man, I'm in trouble. So, but when I came back, he helped me, realize that all the things that I needed to do were correctable. So, these last couple of weeks have been really good to work with him.
Excellent.
Yeah. And so, Dr. Bob, how so far? What's the relationship been like?
Well, first of all, I want to say this hat, that is, the reason why I wore this hat, okay, is because I bought it in Italy the last time I lectured there. And since Ricky got signed with the Milan team, which is one of the best leagues in the Premier Euro League, I figured I'd wear the hat, in celebration of his getting signed, right?
Looks good on you, too, besides that.
Besides that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can wear a hat. Some people can't. I'm not real good with hats.
Yeah. Someone said I look like Frank Sinatra with this.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't go that
Yeah,
far.
just
No, I wouldn't go that
I
far.
wouldn't
But
go there, yeah.
hey. But we want you to come back. So if it means you're coming back,
Well, good. I appreciate that, Bill.
you and Frank, man.
Yeah, I
just like-
appreciate it. We're like this. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Except like this.
No, I have the good pleasure of working with Ricky. He's a great guy, and he has put 100%, 110% into this whole process. He was a little depressed when I first told him about all those problems, but like I see, unfortunately, is that his rehab side, which is his right side that he tore, he went to grandma rehab, I guess, because it was not. He even felt like he was playing with his left leg, and he said he's left-legged dominant. And he figured that he could kind of make up for the lack of strength in his right leg or what's happening with that leg. And then suddenly the left leg actually came here because of left leg Achilles problems, which that cleared up pretty quick. But he's got some other issues that, this is an important year for him. He's signed with a really top team, and I want him to go back 110%, which he's going to do.
Awesome.
So,
All
it's
right,
been a
so
pleasure
when do you report?
I actually leave on the 17th, so like 10 or 11 days. And
So you got another 10, 11 days with Dr. Bob.
no, I'm going back home tomorrow. I've been here long enough, so, so I'm going back home with my family for
With your homework.
yeah, just with your homework. That's
Yeah,
right.
So I'll go back home to North Carolina tomorrow, and spend time with the family for a little bit, and then I'll go, and then they'll meet me back over there in like a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Bob does travel, just so you know, if you ever need him.
Yeah, well,
sure.
actually, I'm going to be in Bologna. We already talked about possibly hooking up. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I tell you, one of my favorite European soccer teams is AC Milan.
AC Milan.
Yeah, so they play at Giuseppe Meazza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the San Siro. I may have to have you get me a jersey or something while you're over there.
I
I'm
got
just
you.
kidding, Daniel, but just be sure to root for AC Milan.
I will.
Not Inter Milan, AC Milan. There you go. Yeah, well, the one thing that we have learned with Dr. Bob over the last year or so that we've had a relationship with him is that it's not just one type of athlete. You've worked with golfers, you've worked with tennis players,
MMA,
baseball players, kickers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's no surprise to us that you're working with a basketball player. And it seems to me that the one thing that the players all say is that they really appreciated, the information. They were surprised at what was really kind of the root cause of it. But sticking with the rehab, they all said they had very sound results. So I have no doubt that if you follow the regimen, he's going to work you to death.
Yeah.
If you follow, which might be why you're trying to get out
Tomorrow's
of
his
town.
last. Bill, tomorrow's his last day. He knows that.
So,
That's why he's
so
leaving.
do you have something going on tonight, or are you?
No, I mean, I'm gonna just relax and just get ready. I got
Oh, well, good.
two sessions with him tomorrow, and then I'll be
Oh,
headed
okay.
out. And
Yeah.
that'll be it.
All right. Yeah. Well, so I'm sure that they get a chance to catch up with the family. Dr. Bob, anything new and exciting? You're in your new office.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You settled in over there?
Yeah, really well, and it was just in time. We've gotten some really good, interesting equipment that was kicking Ricky's butt, and but it's going to be great. I really feel like we've got him right on track, and he's going to go home with an assignment. Obviously, it's amazing. Like I said to him, and all these other athletes, it's amazing how he continues to play at that level and have deficits, and feels like he's not quite right, but he's still playing. He's really playing well. We're going to take it to the next level and get rid of all of his issues. We already have done great, and that's to his strengths. He's worked really hard at it, and he's paid attention to what I've said. So we've gotten him in a short period of time, relatively speaking. Well, it's 10 days, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I just evaluated you the first day, really didn't treat you. The second day, you were too depressed to get treated. He goes, "Oh my God!"
So you pulled him off the ledge.
I did, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
And so, but he's been great. He's come in twice a day, which is definitely not an easy thing to do. He's gone through lots of soreness where he couldn't even walk a couple of times, but
Couldn't sit on the toilet.
consider that's important,
Yeah, that hurts.
When that hurts, it's a big problem.
So anyway, but we found some really amazing things. As like I see this all the time. It's just lacking strength, basically. And then, the tendon wasn't healed right initially, and we talked about that. And he's going to just do some some important exercises to continue to improve his performance. So, that's what I said to Ricky too. Is this rehab or am I improving your performance? I think it goes hand in hand. When you have good rehab, when you leave rehab pain-free and stronger, then that's going to improve your performance. I told him I've never worked with a professional athlete, college athlete, high school athlete. They came to me for rehab, but then at the end, their performance improved, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the ideal training, sports training, is to have someone identify your weaknesses and then work on those weaknesses to get you better from injury and then better performance. And we did that with, Ryan Suckup. I mean, the same exact thing with him.
Right.
He's having knee pain, but then after I finished the program, he finished. I told you, in sports, it's easily to determine your improvement, right?
Yeah, there usually there's a barometer.
50%, kicking the ball into the end zone. After he finished the program, he was 70% time he was kicking in the end zone.
Yeah.
So that's like a major accomplishment,
especially for a kicker.
Yeah,
what I mean? That's how he.
So did I rehab
to
him,
stay
or
on
did
the roster.
I improve his performance? It's just the same thing, really. It's the same thing.
So you've got to be excited about looking forward to this season, being not in as much pain as you were the last couple of years or so.
Yeah, I mean, actually the last couple of years, I've really never really had an injury, like a serious injury. So, when I tore my Achilles, it was like the first injury I've ever really had. So it was kind of like difficult to really, grasp like it being this big and kind of limited me a little bit. So, after this year, being able to come back here, rehab, and doing a lot of the stuff I've been doing this summer, it just really gives me peace of mind and confidence, that in my body that, I can go this whole season and be pain-free and do the things that I've normally done and feel confident doing those.
Well, listen, we wish you the very best of luck, by the way.
Thank you.
And, I'm so happy that you've had a chance to connect with Dr. Bob and kind of get on a regimen. He's certainly going to take good care of you. And Dr. Bob, as always, we really appreciate you, coming into the show. And Ricky, who is going to be just signed with Milano in Italy.
Yep.
That's the Premier Division, basketball division.
Yeah, EuroLeague is considered second best league after the NBA.
Yeah. Well, and if you have BN Sports, folks, you can follow the EuroLeague basketball here in the United States. But Ricky Hickman Jr. and Dr. Bob Donatelli, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, when we come back, we're going to switch gears. You're listening to Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from WorldwideDigitalBroadcastingCorp.com. All right, we are back for round 4. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com. And we're going to switch gears here, and we've got 2 new guests into the studio. Jeff, you'd like to introduce your...
Sure. So let me just preface that the way that it came across where I met Joy and Ben. How you guys doing? You guys
Good.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
So Joy happens to have a like page on Facebook
Yes.
where she was advertising the world's biggest water balloon fight.
Yes, that's correct.
So when I saw this, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So I saw a video, me and Joy had talked about it on the phone, where somebody had come up and set a bucket down, and then a couple minutes later, a guy comes running up and starts throwing water balloons, and the guy picks up the balloons, and they start having a water balloon fight, which I thought was the greatest video ever. So when I saw this, I was like, this is fantastic. So explain a little bit about where it's going to be and how people can get involved if they'd like.
It's going to be at Shanefield and Royce Park by the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And
on August 20th
August 20th.
at 10 a.m.
Meetups at 10 a.m., of course. So everybody gathers, sign their waivers, and fill up their water balloons, and get to know each other. You know, pump up the party.
Yeah.
I should say.
So is the Siegfried and Roy Park? That's the new park on Russell.
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
Okay. So how did you need county approval to get this
I
done?
actually talked to I called the county for this, and they said it's fine as long you guys don't like clean up after yourself, which
Right.
we are gonna do that.
Which could be messy.
Yes,
Water
it-
balloon fight
it-
could be
yes,
very
it will
messy.
be.
Yeah.
We'll be bringing plenty of trash bags, you know.
Yes.
Well, I'm hoping that because over 4,000 people I saw were following this, which
Yes.
is awesome because
I didn't expect to be this big.
Where'd you come up with the idea? Just think about it.
Like it's actually since summer ends, like you said, I be seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube, like water balloon fight and water
The
water
guns,
guns.
squirt guns,
Yes, so that's where it came up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and plus too, like the main thing of our group is actually for hiking. But you get into the summertime and it gets real hot, and
Oh, yeah.
we've done a couple hikes up in Mount Charleston.
Yep.
But there's only so many we can do. I mean, we're kind of a beginners hikers group, so
Good.
we kind of just switch it up during the summertime. So we're actually we're doing the water balloon thing on August 20th, and then also too this Saturday, August 13th, we're actually doing cliff jumping out in Nelson's Landing.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one thing that I saw that I missed was the rafting that you guys did.
Yes,
So-
that was back on July 9th.
Okay. So on July 9th, you guys all got rafts and
Yes.
floated down the river
Yes.
as a group. How cool is that, Bill? I mean, think about
Yeah. Anything that you can possibly cool off, I'm all for. Which means I'm going to have to be at this water balloon fight.
Oh, this is
Yes.
going to be great. I can't
Yeah, I may not throw one. I may just simply walk through there. And,
wait. Just kidding.
yeah.
I mean,
that'll work.
Vegas has so much things to offer, not just the strip. Because
Right.
like we have so much out there. Like we have Lake Mead, we have Willow Beach, which nobody knows about it.
Right.
Now everybody is exploring Nevada.
Yeah, Red Rock. I
Yes,
mean,
exactly.
and it's doesn't take a lot of time to get to these locations either. There, everything is relative within literally an hour and a half
Hour.
max.
Yeah, hour or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will plug Raw. I actually went to one of their camp, like their signups, which is an incredible sign up.
Yes.
What Raw Fitness is they guarantee weight loss.
Yes.
So basically, you go in there, you sign up with the program. If you lose the weight, then it's free, which is great.
Yes.
Great
If you
program.
lost the 20 pounds in 6 weeks, you will gain your money back, and it's free.
Right.
Yes.
And I went there and I was thinking, wow, this is a pretty good concept, So I went in there, and it wasn't even a place to sit. I mean, there was literally like 500 people there, and I was absolutely amazed by the setup. So since then, I think he's opened a second gym.
Yes.
Over, off of Russell.
Gramercy.
Yep, Gramercy Park and
Yes.
for Russell. A great thing. So you guys are the name of your Facebook group is
Raw Fitness Hikers.
Raw Fitness Hikers.
Raw
Okay.
Fitness Hikers.
Yeah. So I joined the group. I haven't been on a hike yet, but I'm going to come because I'm actually a hiker. I take my kids. I like to just go like just anywhere that we can go. We went up to Mount Charleston, Red Rock, and all that. So
Right.
we're definitely going to come check out your group.
Yeah, no. Once we get into the fall, like late September, October, like we try to do at least 2 events, every month.
Oh,
And
nice.
and like I said, we're pretty much a beginners hiker group, so anybody can come for the
So
for
all
the most
ages.
part. Yeah.
And dogs.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
See some pictures
Yeah.
of
No.
dogs.
People bring their dogs.
Yes.
All the time, and we basically had all age groups, anywhere from like I'd say from 4, to even elderly people.
Actually, my daughter is 2 years old and he's hiking sometimes with us.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I really like what you guys are doing. One, because people need just stuff to do. One, a place to meet people they're like-minded. People that are out hiking are like-minded and like to do that. And it doesn't cost anything.
No, it
Right.
doesn't.
You just you bring your own water and do your own thing. So the water balloon party is free. I said
Yes,
party, but it's
it's free.
it's a fight, I guess. So it's going to be like a party.
Right.
But it's free, so you just bring your own balloons.
Yes.
And then just kind of walk us through real quick again how that would work on the 20th.
The 28th, pretty much, of course, August 20, everybody will meet up at 10 a.m. Then we start sign their waivers, start filling up our water balloon, get to know each other first, so we know who we're dealing with, who we're gonna shoot the balloon to, right?
Right.
So I guess we're targeting you guys when you guys get
That's
there,
fine.
right?
Bring it.
So
Yeah, and then also too, we've actually talked to a couple people where they'll have food trucks out there.
Yes.
Nice.
You know, different vendors, and I think even a shaved ice
Yes.
truck will be out there. You know, selling ice cream or shaved ice and things like that. So there will be an opportunity. You know, if you're hungry or whatever, you don't have to bring a lunch bag or anything. There'll be food out there to be purchased.
Fantastic. So hopefully Blondie's Baking Creation.
yes, actually, they're gonna be there.
Kelly's going to be there.
Yes.
Okay. You remember Blondie's from?
Yes.
She was one of our one of the trucks that used to come to us all the time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we
Ah,
like
great
Kelly.
food.
She's a good person.
Yeah, I actually talked to her on Facebook. She looks it looked pretty nice. I saw their menu and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, I can't
Yeah.
wait.
That sounds good.
I'm gonna save my stomach at night. So in the morning, I'll be ready to eat their.
Now, do people need to sign up in advance, or is this the same day?
It's same day.
Same day?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have an idea as to how many you're anticipating?
Well, so far, I look on my Facebook just before I got here. It's about 1,000, but about 4,000 interested. But I know for sure there's gonna be more than 1,000.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't
yeah.
wait.
Yeah, so we'll have some pretty big teams, to throw water balloons at and stuff. We'll probably split everybody in half and then, throw the water balloons, buckets, right in the middle, and then just everybody just rushes up.
Rushes
and-
up, grab them, yeah.
And it's on.
John, you coming?
So make sure you guys get ready.
I'm seriously thinking about it. If I could get a
What if you
waterproof
could save
cover for the
animals and
camera.
money just by shopping? At the Hearts Alive Village Pet Supply Store, you can. We carry
Hang on.
food, treats, toys, leashes, litter, and more.
Well,
Our prices can't be beat.
maybe-
and as a
maybe the dog-
501c3
maybe the dog
animal
supply
rescue,
place is gonna-
There's no sales tax.
We're
Every purchase
certainly
at
giving them a
Hearts
free
Alive
plug.
Village supports our life-saving program.
Well, hey, I
and helps
appreciate
keep
what you guys are
animals
doing.
Out of the shelters
The-
and in loving families.
Tell
where
us
they
again
belong.
what the name of the
Located
group
at
is.
17
Raw Fitness Hikers.
Raw Fitness Hikers. Okay.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
their page on Facebook. You'll be able to get all the information. Follow the other events that they got going on.
August 13, which is going to be cliff jumping. I mean, you don't have to cliff if you're afraid of height. You can always float on the water. The water is so nice and clear and warm, not like cold, like dirty or anything.
Yeah, and also too, like we have a potluck where everyone, brings like their own dish, and then we share it throughout the whole group, and we'll have a canopy, to cover everybody, so we'll have some shade out there. I know it's supposed to be like 108 on Saturday, but we'll be in a nice little shaded area and stuff for people to kind of cool down and things like that.
Okay, so that's this coming Saturday,
This
Nelson's
Saturday.
Landing.
Yes.
Okay, so look that up on
Facebook.
Google or Facebook and
Yeah.
find the location there.
Yeah, just go on Facebook. You can just put Raw Fitness Hikers in the search, bar, and our group should pop up.
Yeah.
And of course, on the 20th, yeah, it's Water Balloon Central.
That's gonna be
Correct.
great. I can't
So
wait.
get ready.
I can't wait. That's gonna be so great. We're gonna go out there, George, and shoot some video and make sure that
All right. Well, thank you so much again for coming in. And this is really exciting. I mean, this is I'm not sure who came up with the idea. Who wants to? You can both take credit for it.
Oh no, we got to give it to Joy.
Ah.
Shit,
I mean,
that was her idea.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well
thank
done. Well done. I mean, it's something that I haven't been in a water balloon fight since college. Then, yeah, and
Well,
you had to
bring the
worry
kids
about
and
whether
ourselves,
people were
right?
using just water. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have my arm ready. I'm gonna go through this week to make sure my arm's ready.
Get ready.
That's it. So, folks, join us next Monday for it'll be August 15th.
August 20th.
This
our
is
show.
our show. On the 20th is the
She
water
now
balloon
knows.
fight. Yeah,
Don't miss
but
the
the
20th.
15th will be us. We'll be back. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you once again from the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Take care and have a great week.
God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.